Have you ever met one of these people that just seem to be so lucky? Rules don't seem to apply to them. It's like they have a magic wand or a magic touch, that whatever they do, it just seems like they succeed in everything they do. I call those people companies. You heard me right, and bear with me for a moment. The thing is that that's companies. Like, really, truly. So we all as individuals, we have all these ideas, we have goals, we have intentions, and we set them all the time. And every 1st of January, there is a list of at least 10 points that you want to achieve this year. And by the end of the year, very few people have completed the list of ideas. They might carry over the intention or idea to next year. The same with solopreneurs or small companies. They have all these ideas as to, oh, then I can also expand, and I can do this and I can do that. I can launch a course. I can be more on social media. I can, and as individuals, we might want to write a book. Like, a lot of people have a wonderful book hidden inside of them, like a little gem, and it will just never see the world, and the world will never experience these magical words or all these wonderful little courses or businesses that people have intentions of starting, because they don't believe in themselves. But something is different in the big corporations. Something magical happens in companies where they do seem to succeed. And I truly believe that we can take the lessons from the big companies and the big corporations and how successful they are, and we can actually apply their mental attitude, their way of working with intention and ideas and goals and the structure that they apply. We can use all of these tools and attitudes and approaches and apply them to our personal lives or in our small companies to actually succeed with our goals and intentions. So the first thing that happens when you have an idea as an individual or as a solopreneur for that matter, is that you get an idea and then instantly your brain will start arguing with you. Like, it'll start being like, oh, I want to write this book. And then you're like, yeah, fantastic. That's a good idea. I'll put it on my to-do list for this year. And then almost immediately you will see that your brain is going to try and help you by telling you it's not possible or it's a waste of time. You might write this book, but it's going to take forever and nobody's going to read it. Or that's too much hassle. If you really want to write a book, it's going to take at least a year. It's not possible. And that kind of help from your brain is not very helpful, because before you even initiate your intention and your idea, before that happens, you'll be put off to a degree where you're never going to initiate it. Now, in a big company, at management level, they might have an idea. They get an idea, they set an intention, and then they start rolling it out. They message this down to the management level. And from there, there's a yes, sir. All right, let's do this. There's no brain talking against it. That doesn't happen. It's like, yeah, all right, we'll go execute on that. That's the message from the managers. Then the managers go down to the lower level managers or to the workers, and they're like, this is what we're gonna do. Let's get on it. Let's get this scoped. Let's get this made into a proper step-by-step plan so we can execute. And in this way, step by step, you see big companies roll out one product after another. They set intentions, they have ideas, they put them out, and the world sees another product launch after another product launch. And all the while, all our personal plans never sees the day. Now, the corporate attitude of yes sir is really, really cool, because it's the first thing that has to happen for an idea to even get scoped, to even get like put a timeline to it, to even get any kind of chance of getting put into the 3D reality eventually. And that is where we can use this corporate way of thinking as a hack to actually see our personal individual goals succeed and take form and shape and manifest into this reality. And so the first thing is your attitude, and that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about there is this hack that you can do where you can actually question, what would corporate do? And so when you have your initial idea, I'm gonna write a book, or I'm gonna create a course for social media, or I'm gonna set up a tea shop. Whatever your goal is, your dream, and what you're passionate about, you can apply whenever your brain then says, not a good idea, it's never gonna work, then you pressure test that against the corporate way. Imagine the manager coming out into a town hall meeting and standing up on the podium, talking to the people, saying, so we have this new intention. We're going to launch this product. This is what we're creating. It's next year's vision. Here we go. Let's go do it. But then he's like, no, wait a minute. Actually, that's probably too hard. No, wait a minute. It's going to take too long. I don't think that's going to happen. Nobody's going to want to buy it. It's going to be a waste of our time. We'll create this magnificent product and nobody's ever gonna want it. So then he's like, why don't you just go home? It would never happen. That's not the attitude. He's standing up here on the podium sharing his news about the latest initiative, and everybody here has accepted it. He's accepted it, and they have accepted it. And what's the next that happens? People are going to work on it. Now, the thing is, there's also such a thing as reality. And whether you are an individual working on your own project and your own goal, or you are a big company and you're working towards some major launch, there will be obstacles. There will be things along the way that's not going according to plan. Things will happen, you'll meet headwind, things are gonna not happen according to the plan, and then the plan is gonna get revised. People come together, they discuss, okay, this happened, now what are we gonna do? Let's look at it, let's work with it. What can we do to accommodate that? Is there a different way to look at it? How do we solve it? Nobody sits back and says, oh, then it wasn't supposed to be. The universe has said no. Nobody has that attitude in corporate. And that's why corporates succeed. They make a new plan, they adjust, they figure things out, and more than anything, they know that obstacles will arise and they will be solved. It's because there's a foundational belief that let's do this. Like, it's not getting questioned. Every day you go to work, you don't start in corporate by saying, do you still believe this is going to happen? That would be so weird. So let's apply the same attitude to our individual goals. You start writing your book, an obstacle happens. The computer breaks down. Is that a sign from the universe that now you're no longer going to write a book? This was a bad idea, waste of time. No, it's an expected setback. Because whenever we work on something very intentionally, we'll see that setbacks will happen, obstacles will arise. So now, having a broken computer, you're hindered in writing your book. So then you do one of two things. You either get it checked out and repaired, or you buy a new computer. And that might be that your new the fix here is that either you can go and get it fixed and you can pay for that instantly, or it might be a new computer and you need to wait for the end of the month on next month until you get a new computer. Is there something you can do in the meantime? Can you borrow a computer from somebody else who has an extra computer? Is like, you see, there's always ways that we can work with it. Or simply you have to have a timeout, you have to have a break. It doesn't mean that you don't continue in 2 months, even if that was the case. And that's what happens in corporate. Things get worked with. It's not like, oh, then it wasn't supposed to be. Time out, let's stop, let's stop all the work now. Clearly we should not go in this direction. There's none of that attitude. So if you take on this corporate way of thinking, you will get so much further ahead, because everybody else who is just working with trying to convince their brain again and again that this is a good idea, eventually the protective brain that is trying to save you energy and time and protect you against embarrassment and failure in every way it can, or the best intention potentially from this endearing brain, but it's not the way to get things out into the world and succeed. So we need more of this attitude, and we need to do the corporate test. So every time your kind, helpful brain wants to stop you and tell you this is a bad idea because A, B, C, and D, think, no, I'm the boss, I'm standing here, I have given this message, and it is a good idea, and we are gonna do it. Thank you, brain. I will continue to work towards my goal. The tea shop shall be set up, the book shall be launched, the course will be made. There's so many wonderful projects and initiatives out there that never see the day of light because people stop before they even start. So your initial attitude, your attitude when obstacles will arise, and then an acceptance attitude that we have to love what is. We have to accept reality. If your computer breaks, you have to get it fixed. You have to call around and ask if somebody has a spare computer. If the tea company is no longer able to provide the tea for your new tea shop, you need to start looking for another tea company to provide the tea. Like, it's not a no, it's a solvable issue, and it's a normal thing to meet obstacles. So attitude. And then corporate has a lot of other fantastic tools that they use aside from the corporate attitude that gets us going in the first place. There's things like scoping and realistic timelines and how to do these project plans so we don't get frustrated. But I'll talk about that in another video.